Welcome back, everybody, to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy, and today I'm joined by my guys, Kyle Collier and Caden Sproul, and we're going to break down if the Chiefs season is officially over. So, ladies and gentlemen, your Kansas City Chiefs drop a heartbreaker to the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving by the final score of 31-28. A lot of stuff went wrong, and now the Chiefs are sitting at 6-6. They're 13 weeks through the season, sitting at 6-6. They're not in the playoff picture, and they essentially have to win out if they want any chance to make the playoffs. So I think my question for you guys is the Chiefs season officially over? And we'll start with Kyle.
Oh, man, not mathematically. Like you said, like the Chiefs can still win out and have a shot there, but just, looking at all the other underlying factors that came out of this Cowboy game, you're 6-6, you will have to win out. You've just dug yourself an even deeper hole. But coming out of that game, Josh Simmons' injury, Trey Smith is injured, Juwan Taylor got injured. You're looking at going up against Houston on Sunday Night Football on the 7th, right? You're looking at going into that game with at least 2 of your O linemen out, and we've all seen Houston's pass rush and what they did to the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. It's going to make winning out even tougher. And if Josh Simmons is out for an extended period of time, I'd say yeah, it's looking like the Chiefs season might be over.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking too good, and all those things you named. And on top of that, the Texans are also who the Chiefs are battling, for a fight or a spot in the playoff with. That's who they're fighting with. So it doesn't look too good for the Chiefs. Obviously, losing Josh Simmons is a huge piece, which it is good that they have had a couple games without him this year to kind of know, how they're going to adjust to that. But as you said, Juwan Taylor had, battled a little bit of injury issues as well. So, it doesn't look good for the Chiefs moving forward. I'd say that for sure. A lot about the rest of the season will be told over the next couple of weeks. You got the matchup between the Texans and the Colts this coming Sunday or tomorrow, I guess. And then the matchup between the Chiefs and the Texans next Sunday. So, the Chiefs season will be determined, I'd say, within the next couple weeks.
I feel like mentally and emotionally, this team is checked out. And I think with all the additional playoff games they've played over the last 7 years, I think that's caught up to them. I think the coaching staff is showing a lot of coaching hubris. I think they believe that their offense is the standard and the best and what works. And I think what we've learned over the course of this season is that it just doesn't work. I think they've been figured out by defenses around the league. I personally believe that they have relied too much on Patrick Mahomes to just go out there and win football games. And he has been so good this year, but everybody else has let him down. And I think that has to change going forward. But, I put out a poll on the YouTube community tab about, asking you guys, is the Chiefs season over? And 63% of you said yes, 37% of you said no, 3,000 of you voted, so most of you think that the Chiefs season is over, and I think you're not wrong for believing that, because you're 6-6, you've got tough games ahead. I mean, the Texans' defense is stout. They're a team that's fighting for the wild card. The Chargers, they're still in it. You play the Broncos again on Christmas Day. This is not a favorable schedule for the Chiefs, who, as Kyle mentioned, are currently down 3 of their starting offensive linemen and are struggling to find answers even when guys are fully healthy. So I guess I think the Chiefs season is over, but if it's not, what do the Chiefs have to do to turn this ship around?
Oh, man. The recipe, it's going to sound simple, but it's easier said than done, especially with this roster, with this team, this coaching staff. I mean, the penalty issues still persist, big penalties and big moments. And then the drop bug came back on that Thanksgiving game against Dallas. Rashee Rice had a huge drop. Travis Kelce had a big drop late in that game too. Kelce's drop was eventually nullified because Caliendo was holding over there on the offensive line. But the same issues that have plagued this team all season just kind of all came up at once in that Cowboy game. Patrick Mahomes, he even missed a wide open Rashee Rice on a big third down throw. This team just can't seem to put it all together at the same time, right? The return game is still an issue. that you're getting nothing really in special teams. Harrison Butker looks great. Okay, that's nice. But your margin of error is so thin. And like you said, Michael, they don't have the pieces around Patrick Mahomes to support him to the level that they did in the past. And really, their offense, like late in games, it's just kind of like, hey, Patrick, go into hero mode. It's not sustainable right now, that the way that this team's built and the way that their offense works. It's just one backbreaking mistake after another, and then Patrick, hopefully you can throw a hero ball, right? It's not sustainable. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, as we discussed already, they're gonna have to win out. You know, they're gonna have to win 5 games in a row the rest of the season, and that already seems impossible with how this season has looked so far. But I think the recipe would have to be to lean on this defense. You know, the formula is gonna look a lot similar to what it looked like last year. No, you know, we know what they had, the injuries they had along the offensive line, and it looks like it's gonna be a repeat to end this season. But looking at the Cowboys game, it didn't really seem like that's going to be a possibility to lean on this defense as heavily as they did last season, at least. You know, as we said, the pass rush is not there. The only way they're getting pass rush right now is through the blitz. They haven't had a sack in 11 quarters, which is absolutely ridiculous. 11 quarters. That was the first drive or the first quarter at
Games.
yeah, the first quarter at the Broncos game was the last time that the Chiefs got a sack. So I don't think that the recipe is going to work the same way that it worked last season. So we'll see. This coaching staff is going to be really put to the test over the last half of the season, or last part of the season, I'd say.
If I was to give a percentage of the likelihood the Chiefs would win out, I'd put it at 10%. I think this team has shown you over the 12-game sample size that they don't have what it takes. And at a certain point, we've said it for weeks now, you are what your record shows. If you are 1-6 in one-score games, you're just not a good football team, because a good football team finds a way to win. And the Chiefs were perfect at that last year. And this year, they haven't regressed to the mean. They've just completely flipped the switch from being a team that always won to now always loses. And I don't really think you can course correct this ship. I think right now the ship is sinking. Are you going to try to bail water out of it, or are you just going to let it sink and, you know, address it in the draft, address it in the offseason? I'm of the mindset that if the Chiefs come out against the Texans and they lose and they're 6-7, this might be an unpopular opinion, and I want to get your thoughts on it. I'd bench Patrick Mahomes. I'd bench Travis Kelce. I'd bench Chris Jones. There's no point in playing them if they're mathematically eliminated, because you got to think about the future. And hey, let's get a good draft pick for once in forever. But what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I've definitely had the thought of tanking, and you know, around the trade deadline, I kind of had this thought. Like, everybody wanted Breece Hall. I did too, right? But frankly, the Chiefs just don't have enough draft capital. Like, that 2022 defensive draft class, Brett Veach had like 10 picks to go get the guys that he wants. You don't have that many picks the next couple of years. You've used those resources. So in a way, I do agree with you. I don't think you'll ever see this team just give up. Like, if they're only 6-7, I don't think Reed just puts in Gardner Minshew and calls it a day. I think the three leaders you mentioned, Mahomes, Kelce, Jones, they're going to be on the field. It's just, but I mean, yeah, you're right. Having a better draft pick would be nicer. I know, but I just don't see that coming from Andy Reid. I don't think he's going to wave the white flag so publicly like that. They're going to play just till the end, but they might just, I don't know, maybe they'll have a vanilla playbook and they'll just acknowledge, like, hey, we don't have it this year. Let's try to keep Patrick somewhat healthy. But then again, you know, Patrick kind of always goes into hero mode and sometimes can't get out of his own way. We'll see, but man, yeah, it really does feel like a down to the dumps episode we're recording here, because it does feel over. But at the same time, I'm also in that camp that you cannot count out a team that's led by Patrick Mahomes, although there are lots of issues around him.
Yeah, I mean, I think this season is defined by what Patrick said, or yesterday, I think it was Thursday after the game. He said, you know, we can play with anybody, but we can't beat. You know, they just can't beat the teams. They can stay in any game.
Beat anybody, but they can also lose to anybody.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Like I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't think that it's the worst idea to bench Pat, especially considering the O line. You know, with the injuries up front, it's only going to get him beat up more. But like Kyle said, I don't envision it. I think just with this championship DNA that this not only this coaching staff and these players have, but this whole organization that has. They have a mentality to go out there and win every single week, no matter what. I think the Chiefs sit at like 15th right now if we were to draft today, which is considerably better than what we've had in recent years. And it would be nice to have, a really good draft pick, maybe go up and grab a Jeremiah Love, somebody like that who could be explosive to this offense. But I've seen a lot of chatter about, if the Chiefs were to draft a wide receiver, or something like that, there would be a lot of pushback on that. And I'd like to get your guys' thoughts on that. I don't know if that's a bad idea, what you guys think. I don't think there's ever enough explosive playmakers, especially in today's NFL. It's such an offensive heavy league now, especially with the backfield. So many good running backs in this league right now. So I'd like to see what you guys think about that.
Let's answer that question, and we'll do that right after this break.
The Hollywood Casino at Kansas Speedway is the place to be. With over 1,500 slot machines, 35 table games, 4 restaurants, and the sports book, there are plenty of ways to find your fun. For more chances to win, follow their Facebook, Instagram, and X. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Huge thanks to the sponsors that have supported me and this channel all football season long. Now, Caden asked the question, would you be upset if the Chiefs drafted a wide receiver in the first round? I don't know if upset is the right word for me, but I look at the garbage cans that are on this defensive line, and specifically edge rusher. If there's a good edge rusher available in the middle of the first round that you think could be a game breaker, a game changer, I think it would almost be malpractice to not go get that guy, given that you've gotten no production from anybody not named Chris Jones this year. I don't know if I would hate it, but I'd just be like, we're not really solving the main issue here. But Kyle, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. If you draft offense in the first round, if you're Brett Veach next year, that better be a top 10 talent. You better have moved up into like the top 10 to go select somebody. Go get next year's version of Tet McMillan, or heck, even if it's a guard or a right tackle. Running back, again, same thing. Better be a top 10 talent. Otherwise, I just don't think it's worth it, because the defensive line, certainly that's one. I would even throw linebacker out there as an issue too. Your secondary, you have a decision to make with Leo Chenal, with Trent McDuffie, with Jalen Watson. There are way too many other problems that need solving before you get to the offense. And this was the year we're supposed to see the big three: Hollywood, Worthy, and Rashee Rice on the field together. Rashee Rice has been putting in his work. I feel like maybe I don't want to call Xavier Worthy a bust by any means. I still think he has some time to develop in this league, but yeah, I get the sense that the Chiefs may need another legit weapon, especially as Travis Kelce begins to age out of the NFL. But I still think the other problems on this team are too glaring to ignore.
Yeah, I think with my bad. Go ahead, Mike.
No, go ahead.
No, I just think that the way with the Chiefs the way that the Chiefs have drafted in the first round, and specifically wide receivers over the past few. I mean, Xavier Worthy was great in his first year. Don't get me wrong, but I think that they've found it harder to get him involved in the offense more and find ways to use his skill set. This season, I think you guys would agree with that. But yeah, I think if there was somebody like a really good defensive end that could get to the pass rusher, you could find, like you said, Michael, in the middle of the round somewhere. Maybe a Cassius Howell out of Texas A&M. He's been an absolute problem this year. He's a finalist for the Bednarik Award, which is the best defensive player in college football. So he's somebody that I like on the defensive end, or at the defensive end position. But yeah, I wouldn't be too opposed to a wide receiver in the first round if it wasn't too early.
Guys, can we talk about how sad this video is? We're talking about the NFL draft after Thanksgiving. Like, no one thought the Chiefs were going to be in this position before December, but here we are. The Chiefs are 500. They have shown for 3.5 months now that they're just not a team that could make a run, and that's even my pushback. If this team finds a way to win out, if they win their next 5 games, and they're sitting at 11-6. Yeah, no team wants to face them in the playoffs, but I'd almost be like, just let them self-implode, because that's what they've done all year long. And I think, in years past, they've been able to fix it, but they've been able to fix it because Patrick Mahomes has literally overcome bad coaching, bad play, turnovers. The ball is just not bouncing in the Chiefs' way this year, and that's okay, but there's a reason that we're talking about the future in November, because we just don't think that this team has the necessary pieces to compete this year. So do you guys have anything else you want to add to this video?
Darcy, you nailed it right there. Even if they win out and make the playoffs, I'm not very confident at all that they escape the divisional round. The problems that they are having, they're too glaring, and Patrick Mahomes can only do so much. I feel like finally he's run out of flex tape or whatever hell that commercial is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there it is. He's finally run out. He doesn't have enough to just patch up all the issues that are going on around him.
Yeah, I think you guys touched on everything.
So, guys, I think the Chiefs' season is maybe not officially over, not mathematically over, but it feels over. And, I think that's a tough pill for a lot of Chiefs fans to swallow, but at the same time, we get to go through the offseason and try to build this team back up. There's so much stuff to talk about, and we're going to talk about it, through the course of this season, in the offseason. But my final question for you guys is, where can the people find your content?
Follow me on Twitter at @KyleCollier_810, and then listen to me right here on the channel, The Night Shift with Michael and Caden. And then I produce the program with Saran Petro, weekdays 2 to 6.
Yeah, you can catch me on Twitter at CadenSproul810, or on Wednesday nights I produce The Take with Andy Sweeney from 7 to 9, and then The Night Shift with Michael and Kyle from 9 to 10.
And guys, all their stuff will be linked in the description of this video. Hit that like button, subscribe for more Daily Chiefs content. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video, and as always, go Chiefs.